Hey everyone, I'm back with challenge 6 of our Halloween cybercrap. Now you can see the scrap lift for challenge 6 in the top right hand corner, and I've also added the link in the description below. But if you're not already a member of the Scrap Squad Facebook group, then please do join us. We do have a new scrap lift every week, as well as a couple events and cybercraps and things throughout the year. Now, for this lift, I'm only going to use 2 photos. There is no way I could fit 3 photographs on my layout unless I had them printed as a 3x2. But I definitely could not in the size that I had printed already. Now, I have picked out my photos that I'm going to use, which are a photo of Darcy and a photo of TJ, but I'm going to start talking about the pattern papers I'm going to use first. Now, I found this gorgeous kind of check pattern in the kit that I hadn't yet used. I don't think I had used, I might have on my last layer actually. I used a tiny little bit of a branding strip, but I hadn't used the full pattern yet on one of my layouts, so I thought this is the perfect layout to use this pattern paper on, because I'm going to be scrapbooking about pumpkin carving. So I did add a black border around my layout first. It's a very, very thin black border, because when I looked at the original layout, they looked as though there was a black border around the edge, and I really loved how that looked. I then attached my pattern papers to the left hand side. I did cut the check pattern paper a slight angle like on the original layout, but I did mine upside down. That was accidental. I hadn't done that on purpose. But I was fine with it. It still looked really nice, and you could still see that obviously I took that inspiration from the lift. And then I used this black polka dot paper just for in place of the black and white stripe one. So I've gone kind of similar with the busier, more colourful pattern as the larger piece, and then more of a toned down pattern for the smaller piece. And now I'm going to attach those down, and I have distressed the edges of those papers as well, because I just love how that looks, and I think it's really fitting for a Halloween layout to have that bit of a distressed look to your papers anyway. But I mean, I do that on most of my layouts. Now, the photographs that I've got are of, like I said, one of Darcy and one of TJ. And every year since Darcy came along, we've had kind of a pumpkin carving competition, and it's always been girls against boys. So my husband and TJ designed their pumpkin and carved that together. Me and Darcy designed ours and carve it together. So at this stage, TJ was already onto the carving stage of his pumpkin. Darcy was still getting all those pumpkin seeds and guts out of the pumpkin, which is a very, very messy task. But she loves to get stuck in, and she's there spooning it all out, and she makes a lot of mess, but it's great fun. And we love doing this every year. Obviously the girls win every year, but if you ask the boys, they'll say they win every year. So now I'm bringing in some cut aparts, some cut apart tags, and some journaling spots that I'm going to tuck in behind my photos. Now, on the third photo on the original lift, which is the largest photo, they've got lots of ephemera and bits and pieces kind of tucked in around the photograph. Obviously, I haven't got that third photograph. I've only got the 2, but I did try to tuck in some ephemera and bits and pieces that I'd cut from the pattern papers to kind of mimic that on my page. I'm now looking through the die cuts and pulling out a few that I may use on this page. I have added the banner to the top, because there is a banner on the original layout, and I have the die cut version of this as well as the sticker one, and I hadn't used either of them, so I was pleased to have one of those on this page. I have got a tag at the top of TJ's photograph, and some journaling spots. Well, I've only got one on at the moment, but I do pull in another one on the right hand side of the photo. I have brought in some pumpkins because obviously this is a page about pumpkins, so I definitely used quite a few of those on this layout. So I've got two of the sticker pumpkins on here so far. I've got a phrase sticker which says coolest pumpkin in the patch. It doesn't stay where it is right now. I do move it. But that does make it onto this layout. And I've added another phrase sticker which says spooky. Again, it doesn't stay where it is, but it will make it on this page. So now having a look through the decorative brads, and I find this gorgeous blue one with a little pumpkin on. Of course he has to be on this page, so I do add that there, and I pull off my word stickers now, but I will change those out in a minute. I do find a puffy pumpkin. I can't think of the word, even though we've just been talking about it. And I do add that to Darcy's photograph. These pumpkins are adorable. Even though they've got carved faces, they just look really cute. So now I'm playing with a couple more embellishments just to see if I want to add anything else. On the original layout, it's very heavily embellished. There's lots going on, lots of embellishments and lots of things to look at. But because I do scrap in a smaller scale, I don't want to overdo it, that it draws attention away from the photographs. So now I have skipped forward, and my embellishments are stuck down that I decided on. I did also pull in a little banner piece which says beware, danger, stay out, and that's like a signpost. And I just really liked how that looked to the side of the photo. And I also added a little arrow, which says haunted. And I do stick on a couple of stars as well. I've got a green one and a blue one. And then I pulled out some black ones as well and got those cascading up the page, kind of in place of the bats on the original. I have added some twine to my tag. And now I'm coming in with my title. Now I've used some older thickers from my stash, which I've used a Sharpie to make those black because they were multicoloured. And my title's going to read Pumpkin Carving. And then I do finish off with some splatters, which has kind of tied all my Halloween pages together with this gorgeous pearlescent black pen, and I really love how that looks. So there'll be some close-ups coming up now, and I will be back shortly with one more Halloween page for our Halloween cybercrop. Thank you for watching. Bye.